Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Baby Arugula, and thank you for joining me for this week's video. Today, we are doing episode 4 of the series Conversations, and this time the band is Faetooth. They're a heavy, sludgy, very doom metal band that I'm very excited to introduce you to. In fact, I left town right as they were forming, and then got back into town as the pandemic began, so I haven't even met all of the members myself. So if you're as excited for this episode of Conversations as I am, please leave a like down below and subscribe and ring the bell, because I do premiere weekly. And of course, don't forget to browse the links in the description below for more ways to find and listen to Faetooth, and for ways to support the channel. Now, I'd like to get this started, so without any further ado, I give you Faetooth. Sweet. This is kind of funny because Raz and Sarah I've had on this series twice now, but Ari and Lulu. Jenna. Okay, that's what I. That's what I thought.
Yeah, this is someone else's account.
Okay. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure someone's name was Jenna. I don't know if I've met the two of you before.
I actually met you at the wormhole.
Okay, did we?
When children, yeah, I think it was for Vicente's birthday or Wyatt's birthday.
Yeah, for Wyatt's birthday.
Wyatt's birthday show where like Chill Trigger played 2 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think I definitely maybe briefly spoke to you, Juice Fest, when you guys played So It Goes.
I don't think that was Juice Fest, that was
or whatever.
Oh, yeah, It Hot at Henry's house, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I do remember.
Yeah, that one.
Right
yeah,
on.
so that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Or last year?
That was fun.
Last summer.
For some reason, I remember the exact date of it.
What date?
It was August 17th.
Dang.
Damn, Sarah.
Yeah.
No, I'm really weird with dates. I'm really weird with dates.
Well, cool. I'm glad that this actually isn't our first time meeting, because just
No problem.
digital.
Thank you for
know.
having all of us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being on. I appreciate it.
Nice to be back on the show.
Yeah. Where to begin? I guess we're talking about where some of us met each other. I'd love to know where y'all met each other, how that happened, how long ago, all the details we can go around.
Well, I met Raz in high school. Well, actually, she was just going into 8th grade when I met her. Yeah, we had a conjoined middle school, high school. So I was in 9th grade and she was going into 8th, right?
And so I was actually just thinking about that yesterday. I was like, I've known Ari for almost 7 years or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we met way back in the day, and then I met Jenna through Jenna Reynosa from Street Play. And that was in 2015 or something, probably a few years after I met Ari. And then we were in the scene, I don't know, doing our own thing. Ari was photographing, I was in a band, Jenna was playing too, and then we met Sarah through the scene. I met her in we talked about this, 2017 or 2018?
I think we crossed paths in 2017.
Right.
Well, all of us did. And then Raz, I met you after you guys played, after Street Play played that festival at the
Sunnyside. That was 2017.
And then Ari, I remember you taking photos of us in 2018. And then we didn't actually talk until 2019 maybe. Same with Jenna. I remember always seeing Jenna around, being really afraid to talk to her. But then I finally did.
Yeah, kind of the same situation. Kind of started, I think I met Raz first through Jenna. Because me and Jenna, Street Play Jenna, have been friends since middle school. Met Raz through Raz. I met Ari. And then I think we all just made our way to Sarah. And we just kind of discovered her I feel like we had our eye on her, and
Stardom.
we were too scared to talk to her.
No.
Yeah, we were too scared to talk to you. So
But we all mutually kind of like really met up frequently at Time Warp.
mhm.
Like
Right.
all four of us.
Yeah, the band was formed like I guess it was like early 2019, huh? Because I remember like we were all at Time Warp, and I think like it was like Ari and Sarah, or it was Ari and Jenna who came up to me, and they were like, "We want to start like a doom metal band." Basically. And I was like, "I'm so down. Let's do it." It was really great, honestly. I feel like when we all came together, it like made a lot of sense, but it wasn't something we had like really planned before then.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
kind of just like to each other. It was really nice. I don't know. It was really fun.
Yeah, and you said early 2019 around the time when you all got together.
Yeah, like April,
Mhm.
May, when we started
Spring.
officially being Faetooth.
That makes sense. I remember because I haven't gotten to see y'all play live yet, but I remember hearing rumors, or not rumors, but I think it was just Henry. He was like, "Oh yeah," like, because at that point I hadn't really been in LA and I hadn't really met everyone because I was spending most of my time in Santa Cruz. But Henry would tell me every once in a while, like, "Oh, so and so from Without Words and so from Street Play got together with these other people, and now they got a new band," and that just makes sense with the timeline of my traveling. So, how long did it take between starting Faetooth and writing an album, specifically an Invocation, and like how long did it take from writing it to releasing it?
I feel like it took a really long time.
Honestly.
We basically like, I want to say as of like December of last year, we only had like 4 songs, and that was just like, we did that, and we kind of weren't really planning on doing an EP. I think we just were like, we have 4 songs, we want to release them. There's a good, way to put that out there. I guess we'll do an EP. And then like probably since like January, we've had, built more on those songs. And now we have enough, or not enough, but like we're working towards a full length. But it felt like it took so long to just like write those 4 songs because we just wanted them like so perfect. And, we wanted to have fun with them too. So just wanted to make sure everyone's opinions were meshed into the songs.
It's kind of funny because I feel like the amount of time it took to write them and the amount of time it took to record them were like so opposite. Like we took, I don't know, like the greater, probably like, I don't know, many months, like 6 or so to write those 4. I mean, we had like other ideas along the way and stuff, but those were the 4 that really like solidified. And then throughout the month of December, we went to like, we probably did like 4 or 5 recording sessions with Emilio from Chill Trigger. And it went by really quickly. It was really fun. And it came out like once we got all the mixes, we only spent like, I don't know, a week and a half or something mixing them. And it came out really quickly, which was cool though, because like, I felt like it really, like, it's really a testament to like that time in our lives and in the band. And like, I'm really glad that it came out when it did, especially with the pandemic and everything, because we probably wouldn't have had the chance to record after that. And I think like that time that, sorry, I'm like rambling also.
No, please, this is good.
Okay. And that, I feel like as long as it was to get those songs, we found our like rhythm, for lack of a better word, or like the dynamic that worked best. So like in the months following our release, I feel like it's been a lot quicker. Like we figured out how we can kind of communicate what we want the song to be in a way that everyone understands and can like get along with like very quickly. And so I think the collaboration, like it's been definitely like a process with like the ways in which we've tried to like write songs. But it's been really great, like for the best, definitely.
I do want to talk a little bit about the songwriting process for y'all, because it does, the element of collaboration really feels apparent when listening to it. Like there's a lot of riffs, and the songs aren't just like intro, verse, chorus, typical formulas. They really take you places, and I feel like that type of thing usually comes from bands jamming in a room and they're like, oh, this is cool, we should do something with this, you know, and they take it places instead of someone just sitting there and writing, okay, then we'll do this and then we'll do that. So I want to ask, like, how is the songwriting process for y'all?
It definitely stemmed out from jamming, like you said, like 100%. I think we all kind of topple on each other's like ideas. Like you know, the three of us will have a riff and we'll show it to Sarah and she'll be like, oh, I can do this. And then she'll like do a drum thing.
You guys like that one, like the crash symbol.
Yeah. We're really bad at explaining like the exact sounds we want, but like Sarah just knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the ways that like we start is like someone will have a riff, like we said, like Ari might bring in a riff and like Jenna will have a good bass line for it. And like I think the way that I work personally best in the band as like a guitarist is I feel like having those jam sessions where I can like experiment with like what I would want to put on top or like mix into it or like different chords that would like complement whatever is happening, you know. I think it helps to have it be a very organic process, you know. I'd probably say the only song on the EP that was like 100% like in the moment was Glass, probably, because I think Jenna just started playing a bass line and then I started playing chords and I just was making up words and then like it slowly turned into the lyrics. And yeah, I think that is and I think you can hear that was the case in that particular song. So
the whole EP is fantastic, but two things that stand out to me every time that I listen to it is the way that Sarah plays to the riffs and the bass tone. There's some parts where it's just the bass. It might even be Glass. I forget exactly which song, because I was listening to it yesterday while making breakfast.
The Circle and Prunes are definitely like the
chunky bass.
Yeah, Prunes.
Yes.
That was the one. The part was like the bass kind of by itself, and then everyone comes back in. I was like, ooh, delicious.
Yes, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
It's funny because we originally had technically 3 songs because Glass was just supposed to like immediately go into Prunes, and I think when we started playing shows we were like, oh, I guess we can just like say we have 4 songs. So we just kind of like cheated that.
Doesn't Glass go after Prunes?
Yeah, it goes after Prunes. So we actually, while jamming on it, we were mid writing Prunes and then just like I think we took a break and Glass just came out of that break.
One thing that I like to ask about often, because you just get some crazy responses, is asking about the choices of names. So I'm curious where Faetooth came from and what that sort of means to y'all.
I feel like Ash is really good at explaining this.
I don't want to talk too much, or like take over your guys' time.
You're good.
Okay, so Faetooth, we came up with Faetooth like kind of through, I believe it was through text. Like we were all like kind of texting, like because we had been going through names and like coming up with ideas and stuff, and like nothing was really sticking. And then I texted a few ideas that were like Deer Tooth, and like they were like all kind of having to do with like either whimsical or like animals or something like that. And so I think I came up with Faye, like F-A-Y, which is an unreleased Alex G song that I really like. And then I came up with like Deer Tooth. And then I think like one of us was like, I think it was Jenna or Ari, was like, oh, we should do like Fae Tooth instead of Deer Tooth. And we should spell it F-A-E instead of F-A-Y. And I don't know, I feel like it came together in like, I don't know, when I think of like, for example, like people's names, like I feel like sometimes you meet someone and you're like, wow, they're so their name, you know, like they really like embody that name. And I've always wondered like if it's like a premonition or if they like grow into it or whatever. And I feel like it's like we definitely embody the name in a sense that like we have that like sense of like whimsy with like fairies and stuff. And we like came up with the idea of like fairy doom.
Yeah.
So I guess like it means like a fairy's tooth or like the tooth fairy or something like that. which I don't know. I think it suits us in our subject matter that we talk about, or like the lens through which we like kind of view the world, and but also like kind of something a little more like grotesque almost, like for lack of a better word, like something darker. So
Yeah, I like it. Faetooth, it's definitely, that's one of my favorite band names. It encapsulates the fairiness, but it's also like ferocious at the same time.
Thank you. That's so sick.
very ferocious.
Well, okay, so this is kind of related. We talked about like how y'all hit each other up and you're like, I want to start a doom metal band, talking about fairy doom and fairies and whatnot. How would y'all describe your music? Whether, like, we've kind of already thrown some descriptors out there, but not just talking about like the particular sounds or the genre, which we can also talk about, but also just like content, messages, lyrics, you know, as many aspects of your music as you can think of in this moment.
I would probably call our music cathartic, like not only for people to listen to, but all the lyrics so far stem from, you know, stories that inspire us, and, you know, real life experience have all come out of our creations.
Definitely, yeah. Different interpretations of media or like literature. That's like a big, especially in the newer songs. There's like references to literature, art, or stuff we watch, but like, it'll usually like connect or have some like other, like, I don't want to say a subliminal message, like, it'll usually have like an underlying theme of some sort of like life experience, like grief or trauma, usually some sort of traumatic event. Usually it'll have a link to the song, so it'll have like a whimsical, like, yeah, it stems back to like having a whimsical or mystical theme, but usually underneath it having, you know, a realistic kind of message.
Right. Yeah.
I would describe like musically and tonally, it's very, what's the word? It's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but like you guys explained it really well. It's like doom gaze, because like it's a mix of shoegaze and then doom, and then with these really heavy, low toned guitars. I just really, really dig it.
Both in our like theme, like with the theme versus like the musical influence, like it's a lot of like light and dark, you know. And I think that in like at least my experience, like being like singing in the band, I think I often try to have like the vocals, like even like whether it's like me against like the whatever chords I'm playing that are very low, like in really like down tuned guitar, or like the screaming versus like the singing. I think that kind of evokes this like juxtaposition that like is kind of like in all of our music, like whether it's like the themes or the music. It's a really long-winded way of saying that, but yeah. I think we have a lot of contrasts, which is like really fun to play with and like see what we can come up with and see how we can like explore what we're experiencing, you know.
Yeah, totally. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, the word I was looking for earlier was ethereal, or how do you say that? Ethereal.
Yeah.
Ethereal.
Yeah, the vocals on that EP, like definitely the contrast between the more like ethereal parts, where it almost seems like it's not like you have the vocals right there in front of you. It's almost like they're riding in on like the wind or something, you know, like it makes me think of Deertooth, actually, now that you've told me some old names. Like if you're in the woods and then just like some of the more spacious vocals just like kind of coast in like mist or something. But then there's some moments where you're going, you know.
That's Jenna.
Yeah, it's a good contrast. It's cool.
Thanks. I feel like Jenna's vocals, every time I hear them, I'm like, yes. Okay.
So do y'all kind of split up the more ethereal vocals and the screaming, or do each of you do both? Oh.
Oh,
Is that a
kitty.
cat?
Oh my god. I love cats.
His name is
Oh my
Rolo.
god.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
Candy?
Oh.
Never mind.
Yeah, I think Jenna definitely does the screaming and Raz does the singing, and on Guilt Machine is like my only time trying to scream. It's more yelling, but like now on the newer stuff, I think I'm usually focusing more on backup and
There's
stuff.
like there's some songs like Fifth Circle. I'm doing some clean vocals. I'm like not. I don't consider myself a vocalist because I just kind of use it to express lyrics. Like I kind of I don't know. I try my best to do vocals like clean when I feel it's appropriate. I kind of will just gauge what I feel needs to be screamed and what will be clean. But yeah, I will try my best to split those up, and then Raz does mostly the clean vocals as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really, really bad at screaming. Like, I just can't do it. So I think, I don't know. I like to sing in the project because I think it is like a cool give and take like between like me, Ari, and Jenna, like whenever we all are using our voices. I think also like just being really like influenced by like Chelsea Wolfe and bands of that nature. Like I think it's a really like what Ari was saying earlier. It's like very, very cathartic to sing over, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it really like whenever we perform or whatever, I feel very like, I don't know. I think it's one of the times that I feel like most myself is like when I'm able to like perform with Faetooth, because it is something that's so raw, but also something that is really fun to, I don't know, to explore and stuff. So I do really like Deer Hoof as well. I like her vocals, which are also like that kind of like ethereal vibe. And also we're talking about deers, so you know.
Just all the reverb vocals.
Yeah, like super soaked. And like honestly, I think another, even though he's like totally not our genre at all, like Julian Casablancas' vocals and like the voids and the strokes, like I've always loved the way that they're coded in that, you know, like kind of distorted. I don't know. I think there's something about it that kind of makes it like more of like another layer of atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, also Coco Rosie. I always shout them out, but Coco Rosie really has like super cool vocals. So
Throughout all of our songs, that all of our vocals highlight our abilities throughout the project. So I feel like we all get like our little time to be expressive and like show ourselves, like Ash said. So totally agree on that.
I just hit the drums really hard.
We can give you a mic too.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I know we can do it with Sarah. So,
but you hit all the right drums at all the right times.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
I try and experiment with that. I mean, I don't want to just be stuck in a box of just like playing like metal drums or like, I guess, sludge drums. I want to kind of experiment and put my own twist on it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that's been like a really good aspect of the band too. Is like we all come from different musical backgrounds, and I feel like Sarah's drumming is something that is like that's noticeable because it's like a really good complement to the music, you know, and it's not like the same. It's not like what you would necessarily like expect, you know, which is great, I think.
Yeah, it gets scary calling yourself like as one kind of genre. I don't know, pigeonholing yourself as like a genre. Like I even get scared calling us a doom band because we're like, we all know that people in metal can be pretty sensitive. But the thing is, I feel like that's like the baseline to what we are as a band. Like we explore different genres and stuff, and like like the low tuned guitars are there, and like the vocals that's there, but like, you know, we have moments of, you know, softer moments, I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, I'm trying to like reference, like think about what some of the newer stuff. Like some of the newer stuff, I wouldn't even call like necessarily like a doom song. I would just say like it's just us doing what we do, and it sounds heavy at times, but
Right.
I feel like some of our songs, I'm like, I have no idea what to call this. Like, it's just us.
I was just gonna say in one of our new songs that we were actually gonna try and play at some of, the shows earlier this year before quarantine, and we just didn't feel the song was quite ready yet, but it's definitely more of like, I feel like it's not even shoegazy, and it's just like one of the first songs we wrote that was in B standards, so we were just kind of like figuring that out. So I feel like it's really nice representation of us not staying in that one genre, because I feel like our new stuff is like shoegazy, doom, and then we're like kind of experimenting with a little more black metal type riffs and vocals, thanks to Jenna. Like we're definitely exploring, and I feel like even though there's no label, like we have our sound, and we're definitely like really happy with it.
Yeah, when time comes to like when we release like music, I'm like, God, what the fuck are the BandCamp tags gonna look like?
Like indie shoegaze, metal,
Post-atmospheric, doomy black metal shoegaze. Like,
Yeah.
post-hardcore, twinkle.
you start twinkling real quick.
It's the most stressful part of releasing music.
Yeah.
Is
Like,
when
who
all the
am I?
services are like, yeah, exactly. What are you? I don't know.
I was making the BandCamp tags for when I was uploading in vacation, and I was like, guys, I don't know what to put. I was like, wait, I can't put indie because we're not indie, but like we need the like search tag so people like will find it, but I don't want to be like misrepresented.
Yeah.
I was having this whole conflict, and I was like, now I'm thinking I gotta do that again with our album in due time. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how indie has really taken on a sonic characteristic, even though it's really just short for independent.
That's true.
Times have changed.
definitely.
So, about the new music that we keep alluding to, is there another EP or a full-length album on the way? Any idea at a release date, possibly? We still writing? How's that looking?
So nothing has physically been recorded at the moment. We're shooting for, I don't know if this can be even said, but like a certain amount of songs, and we're basically halfway there. I think we would like to finish up the rest of those songs, writing them all out. So when the time comes to go record, that like, we're not, sitting there doing more writing. I mean, if it calls for it, then you do. Like, we can't say what's going to happen in a couple months, but I would, with the pandemic and everything, it is very hard to say. But we would like to start. At least I personally would like to start getting the shit, recorded early 2021. I'm not saying January, but like early. Maybe within the first 5 months, and then let's say sometime 2021. Yeah. Sometime 2021 we will hopefully get it released. There's just there's some stuff we have to figure out, as to recording, and we got to finish the songs. But I'm really excited. I know we are all really excited and anxious to get it done, because personally, like, I just feel like I'm so ready to get that like part of us out there. Like, I'm so glad that people are digging the EP, and we're so proud of it. Like, those 4 little songs we're so proud of, and it's so great that we got that out there when we did, because we honestly have accumulated people, just so many people that just dig it, and we're just hoping that they will also enjoy this new side of us too.
Yeah, I think our sound has developed like a good bit since the release of our EP, which is really cool. Like, it obviously like has we're the same band, like, you know, there's a lot of the same elements, but I think we've definitely like learned more about like the different dynamics that we can have. And I think for this next release, we really want to be able to like highlight the different like layers of our music. Like, even though it's just four of us, like we incorporate a lot of like different effects and like different parts in each song. And so I'm really excited to just like show everyone what we've been working towards. So, and also just like the writing process is really great though. So like it's been a really awesome journey with it. And like I feel like we're always like, I'm so excited like for the journey of like finishing the album and like getting it out and like making the artwork for it. Like I'm really excited, honestly.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. There's been like a little, well, not a little, it's the pandemic, but we've been for the most part cut off from new music because everyone's been home. Yeah, and when I talked with Without Words, you know, y'all were saying probably around 2021. I was just talking with Big Fun the other week, and they're saying probably 2021. So
yeah, that's the year.
That's the
year. Yeah. Great.
A lot of pressure on next year.
Yeah. A lot of things are probably still going to get worse, but at least we might have some new music.
Yeah, hopefully.
I feel like when everything is back, whenever that might be, I feel like there's going to be like a renaissance of like the LA music.
So.
Well, right now
everyone's just put in all the time to their craft because there's nothing else to do, like songwriting, practicing your instrument. So like everyone's just gonna be better.
Yeah, I think about what we would be doing if this was not the case. Had we like not been hunkered down, not playing shows, and like doing everything else. Like, I seriously wonder if we would even be working on an album. Honestly, like I don't know if we would.
Still be playing the same 4 songs.
Yeah.
It was so overwhelming, like February, because we had like 3 shows booked, and I was just like, oh my god, we're never gonna finish like that one song I mentioned earlier. Like it was just not ready, and we kept going like next show, and I'm just like, now that you say that, like, would we have even finished that song?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, obviously, shows are the best. Like so much of our lives, you know. And I miss them so much, but at the same time, like when it's so much like external stuff, I don't know how to explain this. Like you need to have the time to go inward to like have the ability to write these songs and stuff. And I feel like with shows, like sometimes you can get into this like vortex of like shows like all the time. Like you start, because people start hitting you up and they want like you could have a show every weekend if you wanted. You know, maybe we weren't at that level yet, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just like only practice in order to play live, and you're not practicing to make more music or get better.
Right.
You're just like, okay, we gotta get good for this show. We gotta, you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. That was something that I noticed with myself and Henry as well. Would be like, especially because I'd be going back and forth between here and Santa Cruz. I'd be here for like 3 weeks. And then someone would be friendly enough that they were like, hey, welcome back in town. I want to host a show. Come play. And then we're like, okay, fuck, we got to practice for the first time in 6 months or whatever for the show. And then I leave in 3 weeks, and then we get nowhere, really. So I want to kind of wrap up with 2, I don't know, they're light questions. They're hopefully fun. Who knows? First off is whether it's a new song you're working on now or from an invocation, do you guys have a favorite song of your own?
I have to think about this one. If someone would like to go.
Personally, for me, like, I really enjoy listening to Guilt Machine, and I really enjoy playing it. So I think that would be my favorite off the EP, and I'm not going to spoil any of the new ones.
Nice. That was my first favorite. The first time I listened to it, that was the one I was like, I'm putting this in my playlist. I'm going to repeat this one. They were all great, obviously, but that was the first one where I was like, shit.
I think that was the first song that like we wrote that wasn't like a skeleton. Like we literally just was like, here's the first riff, here's the second riff, and I'm gonna go home, I'll write a chorus, riff, and we'll figure it out from there. And then that song was just like done so fast, now thinking about it. I would say that was a really fun process, but I feel like my favorite would have to be, God, it's like they're a new favorite like every time we write them. But I would say the new one would be this really cool one that we haven't even really settled on a name yet. It's like our most recent written song. There's a little bit of it on our TikTok because we asked people if they could suggest a name.
Oh, is it the really heavy one?
Yeah, that one's super.
That one is fun.
I love that one so much.
I'll check that TikTok out as soon as we're done here.
I think like my two favorite songs right now are new. If I may say the names, one of them is Echolalia, and then the other one is Schadenfreude. And I don't know, I think like there are some cool riffs that that I get to play on top of everything that are like pretty atmospheric, and they're very fun and just like vibey and stuff. And then in the other one, and that's in Schadenfreude, and then in Echolalia, I think I like the subject matter. Like I thought it was interesting to write because it was like on a riff that Ari made, like a poem that I had written about this painting of the Tower of Babel. And so it was just like interesting to write and like pretty fun. So yeah, those are my favorites. I'm so excited for people to hear them. It's gonna be so good.
Shit. Well. I'm definitely like favoring every new thing we come up with at the moment. Damn, I want to like drop all the new song names, so I'm not gonna say this one, even though I think we have it probably put somewhere. I'll say it in English. the English name is The Witch, but it's in French. So,
yeah.
That song. I think we started that right before we all departed for the quarantine for 6 months. So we started on it and it was a little different. And even before that, I had written that song like months before, probably like the main riff and the lyrics. And then when we came back and started working on it, I was like, I don't like this song. Song sucks. Well, just in, my inner monologue. But we just all did our thing like individually and like not talked it out, but the band just made the song better, and I figured out what I wanted for it vocally and changed some lyrics around. I think we changed like a riff, and I was like, fuck, I love this song so much. Just like the lyrical content, it's like it's pretty heavy stuff, but it's also like, I don't know, it's a very powerful song in my opinion. I mean, and I don't know, it's fun. It's not a linear song. It kind of just does its own thing, and it's a good song. I'm excited. Yeah, like everything else, I'm excited for everybody to hear it.
I really experimented with my drums on that song.
That song is an experiment. Like,
yeah.
that's one of the songs where I'm like, I kind of can, but it's like, it's its own entity.
We have a clip of it on our Instagram. It's like the one of me playing.
The drums.
Yeah.
That's me too. A little sneak.
Like, remember that comment Isaac put on it? Is like, what's Sarah chewing or something?
Since we were talking about it kind of earlier, like, song structure, like this is the chorus, this is the intro, this is the verse, and then, it's just going to repeat. Like, I feel like a lot of our new songs, we didn't really think about that. So especially that one that Jenna's talking about, we were just like, okay, this is the new riff, and it's going to go into this new riff, and then right after that, it's another new riff. So I feel like that's what to expect from like our new stuff.
Sweet.
It's like really fun, changes in our song that aren't, the norm, but hopefully still sound good.
Sweet. Yeah, I can't wait. The more y'all tell me, the more excited I get.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
just want to play now.
Let's just record right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do a little
Where you
live
know
stream.
that?
Yeah, we'll all bring our instruments into the cameras and then
Mhm.
Okay, recording live on Zoom. Yeah.
recorded live on Zoom. Yeah.
That's one of the things, actually. Like, we can play video games in real time with each other, but we can't play music together in real time.
I know, that's so annoying.
I don't understand how that works. I don't know.
It's because like computer microphones suck.
Yeah, I think it would just like all clip each other and it would just like go silent.
We'll wrap up with this last question here. And this, I feel like this might be different for an invocation than it would be now. Like now that just about a whole year has passed since it released. But is there any particular message or takeaway or just something that you want to leave your listeners with when they finish listening to your EP or your new album? Or when they leave your show?
I can think of one that might come across as like kind of cheesy.
I can also think. I feel like we're thinking of the same thing.
If we are, like, can we just like say it at the same time? No. Sarah, you want to go first?
I was just thinking, like, I feel like there's not a lot of female representation in metal, and so I think what I would want people to take away from is that, like, we're just as capable.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Well, we got this comment one time. I don't know if it was Instagram or TikTok, but it was like, it like read across as like an insult, and I had to like reread it. I was like, wait, what? But it was just like, you know, basically saying that they're not listening to us because we're women. They're listening to us because our music, you know, is good and they want to.
Yeah.
So they like worded it really strangely, and I had to show the chat. I was like, wait, like I can't tell if this is an insult or not, but it wasn't. And I definitely feel really strongly about that because, you know, with Instagram, all they're seeing is like photos and videos. They're not just hearing us like you can on streaming services. So I feel like, yeah, we're girls. Yeah, we make music, but that's like not what we want people to mostly pay attention to. It's just, you know, our gender.
Yeah.
I also think, like, I don't know, I've had a lot of, like, this is totally unrelated, by the way. I feel like I found a lot of, like, catharsis, like I've said so many times in this interview, but in, like, exploring my emotions, like, almost as, like, an observer, like to observe things that have happened to me in the past, like almost as something that are like a fairy tale or like a story or something like that. I feel like that sounds kind of crazy or something, but it is a really great way of like exploring what you experience, like whether it's like as a woman or I don't know, just as someone who's like gone through whatever. Like I think it really helps to kind of like detach yourself in a way and like kind of explore the world in like a whimsical way. I don't know if this makes any sense. I feel like I sound silly, but I hope that people have like a sense of like wonder or something like that when they listen to our music or like look at their lives or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Thinking about all the themes we kind of talked about, like whimsical, mystical, fairy, forest, makes me just want to adventure. So
Yeah.
I hope other people get that from our themes.
I hope they forage to our music so hard.
Oh my gosh, this one,
Could call it Forge Doom.
Yeah.
Foraging metal. I love that.
That's a really good question though. Like it makes me think like what I'm trying to like impart on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's mystical and metaphorical or if it's more applicable to like your own bodies and your own lives and like this reality, it's still an expansion or an alteration of perspective in like some way or another. Or at least that's how I'm kind of understanding.
Much more like succinct.
Damn, I wish I could think of a message. I'm like blanking. Yeah, besides like, be your fucking self. I don't know. You're a star. Stop. I don't know. I'm like so blanking. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but just like voice your support, like support trans folks, support non-binary folks, like support Black Indigenous people of color, like all those artists, musicians, like make sure you're supporting those people.
Yeah, we hope our shows, you know, to take away from can be a safe space for everybody.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Safe space. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, after COVID, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
Give us a hug. Give us a hug.
For any of my bands, I want the same answer to be the message, you know, like that it's a safe space for anyone.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Hopefully when shows come around, we'll, you know, have evolved into being a more women, non-binary, trans, Black, Indigenous, and so on space, you know. I feel like it's so far away, and when that whole, like, this is kind of like going off topic a little bit, but when that whole, you know, coming out of you know, abusers in the summer, I feel like I don't want people to forget, like, because shows are going to be so far away.
Yeah, hopefully we see some serious changes going on, both in the community and the country and personally in ourselves.
I will say, like, throughout the journey with Faetooth, like, I don't know, I feel like we've had so much support from so many people, like, and it's been really amazing to see, like, what a positive community can be, you know, because, like, we all love the music scene that we come from and, like, we're all a part of, you know, and so to know that, like, it's possible for it to be, like, amazing, like, all together, and, like, just really celebrating everyone for whoever they are or whatever they identify as or whatever they have to say, like, in their art. I hope that, like, you know, we can I don't know, just, like, maintain a connection like that, you know what I mean, and, like, have that be something that is, like, just the most positive that it can be, whether that be, like, calling people out if we need to, or just, like, making sure that everyone is safe and, like, ensuring that whoever comes to our shows has a great time and has, like, the same feeling of I don't know, just, like, freedom that should be possible.
Yeah, we've been fairly lucky. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, make sure that tied in with our message. I'm sorry, I kind of went off topic, but I feel like I really hope our message conveys that.
Definitely. Well, thank y'all for such thoughtful responses and taking the time to keep going in deeper with that.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much for extending the invitation. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
This was really fun. Like, I had a great time.
Yeah.
You really made us think. I appreciate it, though.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Aiden.
Yeah,
like, really appreciate it. So kind.
Thank you so much for being on and for going extra time with me. I appreciate it.
Really?
You guys are awesome. I will have all of your links in the description of the video so people can check y'all out. Oh, real quick, little shameless plug, just real quick. Instagram, Spotify, BandCamp. What are the usernames? How do we find you?
Faetooth.
Faetooth. Faetooth. Faetooth.
That's all. TikTok. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram.
TikTok. Facebook.
Do we have Facebook? I think we have Facebook.
Yeah, it's automatically connected. I think I don't.
Topics. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to this week's video. I really appreciate you taking the time and energy to view my content each week. If you haven't already, please leave a like down below and subscribe and ring the bell. I do upload each week and you don't want to miss the premieres where you have a chance to engage with myself and others in the live chat. If you would like to support the channel, please browse the links below. If you want to pick up your own Baby Arugula merch, This is one of the designs currently available, and you can find my merch hub in the description below. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at babyarugula_prod production. I also have curated Spotify playlists and links to all the artists that I've had the pleasure of getting to work with down below. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you next week. Bye.